The AI bubble is bigger than you think. Here's a fact that almost nobody talks about. Nearly 95% of companies using AI today aren't making any money from it. Yet AI stocks are exploding. Data centers are swallowing entire power grids, and the US economy is starting to orbit around one single idea. So the question isn't, is AI powerful? The real question is, are we watching the next massive economic bubble inflate in real time? Because if history is any guide, when bubbles pop, it's never the people at the top who pay the price. The pattern that we keep ignoring is that every major economic crash follows the same script. First, a new technology or asset captures the imagination. Prices rise not because profits exist yet, but because belief exists. More investors pile in, more money floods the system, debt increases, risk gets ignored. Then one day, reality taps the brakes. We've seen this before. The dot-com bubble wiped out trillions in value and hundreds of thousands of jobs. The housing bubble triggered the Great Recession and millions of foreclosures. The stock market crash of the 1900s spiraled into a decade-long depression. Different eras, different technologies, same underlying mechanism. And AI is starting to check an uncomfortable number of those boxes. Why AI feels different and why that's dangerous. AI is real, it is impressive, and it will change parts of the world. That's what makes this moment so dangerous, because bubbles are most powerful when they contain a kernel of truth. Yes, AI can write code. Yes, it can generate art, music, and videos. Yes, it can automate tasks that once took entire teams, days, and weeks. But here's the problem. Economic value and technological potential are not the same thing. Right now, money is being poured into AI at a pace that assumes massive profits are inevitable. But assumptions don't pay the bills. Money floods into AI companies at alarming rates. And AI companies are doing something clever and risky. They're inflating their valuations by making massive deals with each other. Cloud contracts, infrastructure partnerships, model licensing agreements. On paper, it looks like explosive growth. In reality, a lot of this money is just circulating inside the same closed loop. Meanwhile, many of the biggest players are burning billions every year just to stay competitive. More data, more servers, more energy, more debt. This isn't efficiency, it's escalation. Even some of the most optimistic tech leaders have quietly admitted that when excitement reaches this level, bad ideas get funded just as easily as good ones. And once that happens, investors stop asking the most important question: where does the profit actually come from? The hidden cost nobody's talking about. AI doesn't just run on code. It runs on electricity, water, land, and public money. Across the US, states are offering massive tax breaks to attract AI data centers. Electric grids are being stretched thin. Water supplies are being drained to cool servers. You're paying for this, even if you've never used an AI tool in your life. Electric bills rise. Public infrastructure gets strained. Local communities absorb the impact, and in return, a handful of permanent jobs, a lot of temporary construction work, and enormous profits concentrated at the top. This is where the story stops being about technology and starts being about inequality. The economy beneath the hype. While AI stocks hit record highs, the real economy feels brittle. Housing is increasingly unaffordable. Healthcare costs keep climbing. The job market is slowing. Prices are rising faster than wages. Yet market headlines tell us everything is fine because a small cluster of AI-linked companies is propping up the entire system. When growth becomes this narrow, the economy becomes fragile. And fragile systems don't bend, they snap. What happens if the bubble bursts? Here's the uncomfortable truth. If AI valuations collapse tomorrow, the wealthiest investors will likely exit first. They always do. The damage won't show up in boardrooms. It'll show up in retirement accounts, in layoffs, in government bailouts funded by taxpayers. Again, and the people hurt the most won't be the ones who hyped the bubble. It'll be the people who never had a say in it. This isn't anti-AI, it's pro-reality. This isn't about stopping innovation, and it's not about fear-mongering. AI isn't destiny, it's a tool. And tools can be shaped and sharpened. We can allow innovation without letting hype hijack the economy. We can invest responsibly without gambling the livelihoods of millions. We can demand real value, not just promises powered by buzzwords. Because if the AI bubble bursts and the response is yet another massive bailout for big tech, then we didn't learn anything. The warning signs are flashing not because AI is useless, but because it's being treated as infallible, and history has shown us what happens when belief outruns reality. If you found this breakdown useful and want more videos that cut through hype, question narratives, and explore what's really shaping our future, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm, and it helps keep conversations like this alive.